Hey boys and girls, welcome to this kit review of this dragon kit. I haven't done a review in quite some time except for the KV1, but since I haven't seen one of this kit on the internet, I decided I want to do one. The funny thing is, actually, what I'm just telling you, I already filmed. My phone then decided, fuck you, and kind of destroyed my recording for whatever strange reason. So, this is the second time I'm actually filming at least the first part of this. So, this is Dragon Kit number 6779. It's the Panzer IV the tropical variant with the tropical changes to the, I think, mostly air intakes, some on the turret, some on the hull, and the fender configuration. The tank was used mainly in 1941-1942 on the Libya Africa front, and it's a 2013 release, so it's rather new. The kit retails at about 50 euros plus, so it's not a cheap kit. And seeing it's a 2013 release, there are a couple of things like small photo etch sheet, not a lot of goodies, that make this a rather high-end price for a kit that is more mid-level. Seeing that I have already seen what's in there because this is the second time I'm taping this intro, I don't want to take away too much, but let me say the plastic quality is stunning, so yeah. Only downside to this kit, and I'll be talking about this a little later on the tracks, but see yourself. Let me quickly show you the sides here. We have 6 painting and marking options, all will do Tunisia, all Africa, like I said, 6779. And over here we have some of the features that are special, like this spare wheel rack right here, 2 antenna variants, either with the antenna or empty, so you might be able to put an aftermarket antenna in this one. That's an interesting thing. The full built-up vehicle and turret with turret interior. Quickly, I don't actually want to flip this over because the parts are loose in there now because I already did this. As you can see, a little bit of photo etch here for the boarding letter. The S-tracks, Yoza. Those early war air intakes on the top of the turret for Panzer IV. And a lot of the features and elements of a super kit, just not the special, like barrel, metal shells, big photo etch fret, all that kind of stuff that you get with the super kits, the Super Panzer IVs. But this is still a very, very good kit. So, without further ado, let me move this out of the way, and we'll start looking at instructions as well as the goodies. So, be right back. Alright guys, before we start out with the sprues, let us quickly take a closer look at the instruction sheet. As you can see from the layout, this is typical Dragon instructions. We have the box art on top here. We have our sprue map. A lot of blue, what a surprise. It's one of their Dragon Panzer IVs where they put like the A sprue in there for the wheels and for the return rollers. That's it. The rest just goes back in the box. We take the sprockets of this sprue. We don't take the sprockets of the other A sprue. So it's a mix and match of all the Panzer IV sprues that they have lying around to create this kit. When you look at this sprue, this sprue, this sprue, this sprue, there's not a lot that you use of those sprues, but other sprues like the F sprue or the J sprue or the D sprue use quite a lot of the parts. Like I said, minimal amount of photo etch and the S-tracks. So let us quickly go over the assembly here. I'm not going to go over the assembly in detail because I've done so many reviews of Dragon Panzer IVs already, and I think a lot of the guys out there that watch this video will know how to assemble a tank. I'm just, like always, we start out with the assembly of the wheels, of the running gear, of the back plate here, putting everything together. It gets quite busy over here, so let me show you this. When we are building up the tools, this is a quite busy piece of the instructions, but it gives you a nice top-down view for where all the stuff goes. It measures all the simple or little things so you know where to put them exactly, because they tell you to take up the locator notches here, so I guess there are no drilled holes in the fenders. Then it actually tells you what to do and what not to do if you want to have it with the spare roll wheel on right here. So that's always a nice touch, especially for new modelers that are not as much into the material and don't know which variant to use. So we build up the interior of the turret itself, put it together, and then, well, finalize the assembly by putting on the turret and the DS tracks, which we will be replacing, but I'll show you guys in a second. Then we have the marking options over here. We have 1st Regiment, 1st Light Division, Libya 1941, 8th Panzer Regiment, 5th, what? No, never mind, it's the same regiment. It's the same tank corps on almost all of them. Yeah, those two are different. Those are the 4th Panzer Regiment. Those are all 8th Panzer Regiments. So, like I said, 6 different marking options in this kit. Now let me take the instructions to the side and get out these. I'm not going to take them out of the sleeve, and there's one simple reason. I'm going to try and put them on eBay to sell them. Because I've seen a lot of DS tracks in my time, and normally, although I don't like them, and although they are multi-ass and vinyl, they are okay when it comes to detail and amount of cleanup. These are the worst tracks I've ever seen outside of the early Tamiya vinyl rubber tracks, and maybe Zvezda vinyl rubber tracks. They are a fleshy mess. They have no real detail. It all looks very, messy. Like I said, there's a lot of flash on these, so I'll be replacing them ASAP. If you guys want them, let me know. Maybe we can do a deal here on these, but I'm not going to use them, otherwise I'll just stick them on eBay. Like I said, the photo etch fret in this kit is not the biggest. Let me see if I've got something here as a backing that I could use, which I don't. So let me take this up here in front of my hand. Like I said, it's not big. We got the plates for the numbers here. We got some pieces for the turret right here. And other than that, it's just small things for the tail light right here, but other than that, nothing of significance. So typical of a later Dragon release, they are reducing the amount of photo etch you get with every kit. The good thing about this, and I've never seen that before, and I have to commend Dragon for what they did here, is the decal sheet. On the Panzer IIIs and Panzer IVs on the turret, because of the way they are designed with the opening doors and with the vision ports in the front of the tank, it's always hard to place decals over those. Dragon, however, have come up with a very, very neat solution for that. They have cut out the decal in the place where the vision port goes, and have supplied you with the decal that goes on top of the vision port, so that you can put on the one surrounding the vision port first, and then match the one on the vision port in a later step. Thereby you can either have the vision ports open, or you can just put the decal down without having to worry about cutting the decal, or maybe just wrinkling it up, it not looking good. And that's something I really appreciate here. Really like this. So let me get the goodies out of the way, and let's look at some styrene, shall we? Alright guys, let's get the fun rolling with the hull tub. And as with all the super kits, you get a hull tub that does not have either the molded on stabilizer for the bogies underneath here, nor the attachment points for the bogies, which I think is additional work that is not necessary, but I think it's nice if you want to either have a bogie exploded off and so you can demolish the attachment point, or just for added detail, the molding. This is stunning 2013 Dragon molding. The quality is just out of this world. I don't like this. This is where the turret will attach later, which is kind of iffy, so I don't really fancy this. But other than that, the weld detail on the bolts and everything, it's just really, really good. And the same can be said about the turret here. Really nice. I love the detail. I love the nice indented bowls, the weld seams on top of the turret. Really, really good. The ring around the cupola here, the commander's ring, rightly, looks really stunning here. This is top-notch quality. The surface structure of the plastic is really nice. No faults here. This is really, really good. And while I'm doing this, I have to say thanks to my buddy Tim Evans for supplying me with this kit. He got it for me for a really good deal, and I'm really grateful. Thank you, Tim. Although I don't like you for putting in all the stretch sprue there. Asshole. This sprue right here, those are the stabilizers I was talking about for the bogies that contain, I think, some hydraulics. This is for the gun. This looks to me like one of the air vents for the turret roof, and these are the spare rope wheel brackets right there, the holders for the spare rope wheels that go in the back of the tank. The next sprue is the tool sprue, or H sprue. It contains all the tools, and like I said, we will be cutting off all the locating nudges in the back. It gives you the option of two different fire extinguishers, the African one and the normal one, which is awesome. For the headlights, which I think is a nice touch, they have the conduits, the electrical cord already molded to it, so that's nice. Although you might want to replace it with a bit thinner. The jack block, really nice wood pattern on it, really, really good. Really, really good. I like the look of this. The mold is spectacular, but that was to be expected from a 2014 kit, guys. The sprockets and the final, the final drive assembly here. As you can see, this is the one that does not have the interior, but the kit comes with interior. And we have the return rollers and the sprocket, which I doubt we will use this one. I don't know though. And this sprue, of course, is in here twice. For redundancy purposes, I'll show you only one. And then, of course, the famous, ever-present, and very old A sprue. But, and I have to say this looks better than some I have seen in the past. So, maybe, but just maybe, Dragon has retooled the A sprue. And looking at this, when it comes to flash and stuff, this looks better than some I've seen before. So, it might be me with some kind of weird perception issues here, or it might be that they have updated this A sprue and cleaned up the molds or something. Because this has been around for quite some time. I think every Panzer IV out there on the market you've ever touched your hands, touched with your hands, has had that A sprue. And the next one is a B sprue, which again contains the hydraulic shells, covers for whatever for the bogies, and the final drive. This is the one with the final drive assembly right here. This is a nice one. And again, those look like fuel cover caps and the final drive housing right here. So I guess this is in there twice too. No, it's only once because it contained two. We have the side plates with add-on armor with the bolts. You can always identify add-on armor if it has bolts. And we have the front plate for the front of the hull, but that looks to me like the wrong one. We'll see about this. Yeah, that's the wrong one. This is for a late war Panzer IV here. This is some add-on armor here. No, I was totally wrong there. This is the one we will be using. I messed up something there, guys, when it comes to logistics on the Panzer IV. I mistook it for a Panzer III for a second. This was the right front cover for the gearbox access. Cooling fans, always a nice touch on those newly molded Panzer IVs. Turret ring, another one of those gearbox covers. Right here is the gearbox access port, and those two are for the idlers, and no, actually for the sprockets. Some parts for the exhaust, I think, yes. The covers, and yeah, it's just some neatly molded sprues. This looks like exactly those are smoke grenades for smoke mine launchers, which will not be used on this variant of the Panzer IV. Then we have our turret interior on this sprue. I have to to hurry a bit here. My girlfriend is a bit under the weather, and I think she wants to fall asleep behind me on the couch, and I don't want her to be awakened by me mumbling and rumbling. We have a machine gun here, that's nice. We have the main gun barrel, 2-part gun barrel, thinking about replacing, and like I said, turret interior, nice spent shell basket right here. Fenders, and like I said before, actually no holes for the tools, which is going to be a bit of a guessing game, but with the help of the instruction sheet and with all the dimensions, I think you'll have a very easy task there, and you don't have to fill any holes if you want to go with aftermarket tool clamps. So that's a nice touch. I've never seen that before on the Panzer IV. Of course, the diamond plating is second to none. We have a turret basket. I think that's the only thing we'll use on this sprue, if I'm correctly, is the turret basket. Again, nicely molded, nice weld detail. The padlocks look really crisp, really good. They will take a wash really well. That looks like cupola interior, which it is. You can see here, those are the vision ports. Those are the covers for the vision ports, and this is the hatch. So, yeah, typical Panzer IV cupola. Please excuse us, I had a little camera issue here. Like I said, we will only be using the back of these return rollers on this sprue. The rest just goes in the spare bin. On 2 sprues, actually. Like I said, now that I had the camera issue, I will have to power through here. This is backplate assembly, exhaust, another machine gun. I think this is the Bowel machine gun. We got fenders here, like the end caps for the fenders. And I think the vision ports is what we use on this, and the antenna. That's probably all we use on this sprue. Like I said, this kit will offer a lot of stuff for the spares box. This sprue is one that is highly involved in the kit. We use this, of course, as the tub. We use the antenna holder. We use the air vent assembly right here. We use the back plates for the engine deck cover. And I think we'll use those. Those are the actual drivers and radio operators hatches, where we'll put in some figures. And I might put a picture of the figures right there. If not, I won't. And then the final sprue is another double sprue. Actually, there's another one in there, the clear sprue. That's our sprocket and the idler. Nice looking idler, I have to say. 3-piece idler, really good. And return roller parts, which I'm not sure we'll be using. And then, like I said, clear parts, 2 sprues. One is the, actually, this here is the hatch interior for the vision ports, for the driver's hatch, for the loader's hatch, the gunner's hatch, the radio operator's hatch, god damn it. And this is for the headlights and for our cupola, the vision ports for our cupola. This is this sprue. Alright. Yeah. Actually, we have one last little piece of plastic, one little piece of styrene. That's this. It's our cupola. It's the dustbin cupola, as it's affectionately called by some, because it just looks like a dustbin. It's just round. Nothing special. It's not the flat cupola of the later war Panzer IV. So yeah, really nicely molded. There's a bit of burring here, but I think that's because it broke off one of the sprues. So yeah, that's all the plastic that's in the kit, and I'm sorry that I had to hurry here in the last couple of minutes because of my girlfriend and because the storage on my iPhone apparently is telling me to get lost. Alright guys, let me quickly summarize the kit. It's a good kit, no question about it. The plastic, the moldings, crisp as always. Interesting way of doing the fenders and all that kind of stuff. I've never seen that before, to be honest. I really like the fact that you get a turret interior, that you get the spiral wheels, which is always a nice add-on here, because earlier offerings didn't have that. They only had the wheels, but they didn't have the mounts, so that's a good thing. The only downside to this, and that's mainly because of the age, or actually young age of the kit, is the fact that you get a very, very small PE sheet and those horrendous tracks. Like I said, they'll be replaced ASAP. Good thing, again, the decals. I think the way they did those is stunning, which helps a lot of inexperienced modelers that want to do this and don't want to, well, fight with the decals. And over here you can see it, actually. This is the vision port I'm talking about, and the door. and the decals have to go over them, and that will be, well, quite of a struggle. So with those partially separated things, that's going to help with this. So if I had to grade this on a scale from 1 to 10, I'll probably give it a 7, mainly because I have to subtract a healthy dose of points because of the tracks, because those are just a no-go. So yeah, really great kit. Some downsides, some upsides. If you want to build an Africa Panzer IV, I think you have not that much leeway with other manufacturers. I think there's a Tamiya, like I said. Maybe Academy, but other than that, all roads lead back to Dragon. Maybe TriStar, don't know. So yeah, for what you get, it's a good kit. Some downsides. Always have to keep in mind you need to get aftermarket tracks, so that adds either 30 euros for metal tracks or 15 to 20 for plastic tracks. So it gets expensive if you want to build it at a good level. If you want to keep the tracks from the box, well, you have a lot of work to do with all the flash that you have to remove, and yeah, if you dust them up real well, you might be good, but no, I don't want to do this. So yeah, aftermarket will be. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. This is Home Modeling. See you guys in the next video. That's it for now. Bye, guys.